taking refuge. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. I go for refuge in the Buddha. I go for refuge in the Dharma. I go for refuge in the Sangha. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Okay. We will get started. I have no little pithy Zen thing to say beforehand tonight other than moo. let's chant the Gatha on opening the sutras. This Dharma, incomparably profound and minutely subtle, is rarely encountered, even in hundreds of thousands of millions of ages. Now we see it, hear it, hold and maintain it. May we completely realize the true mind of all Buddhas. So, relax. Have a cup of something. Finish your dinner, as the case may be. Oh, everybody's drinking. Okay, fine. All right. Well, I'm going to join you. Let's deal with the elephant in the room, so to speak. There was an election in the United States last night, and today, slightly more than half of the populace is jumping for joy. Slightly less than half of the populace is sad. Now, this talk actually has more to do with equanimity than anything else, although there are a couple of other things. So let's get the other elephant in the room dealt with. The Great Way is easy for those not attached to preferences. So, it's not as if I haven't talked about the Xinjiang often enough lately, but here was another perfect opportunity. So, with regard to equanimity and how people might feel about things today, I'm not one to, broach the subject of what would the Buddha do? Because there's like 84,000 sutras and any number of commentaries and writings from Zen masters, both old and modern. And if you want to know, you could probably look it up. But what do we do as Zen practitioners of the Great Way? What do we do specifically? How do we deal with this, either the feeling of overt joy or overt sadness, or maybe in between? One of the things that we are told about is, in addition to equanimity, in the four Brahma-viharas, the concept of mudita. And mudita is usually translated as sympathetic joy. Now, that might be an issue for some of us today, but it is one of the perfections. It is one of those things that we should, as practitioners of the Great Way, try and manifest. Might be difficult today. Maybe not. I would say that Schadenfreude, the taking glee in the bad fortune of others, is 180 degrees opposite of mudita. It just dawned on me in my ride home through the woods in the dark. It was like, yeah, that's 180 degrees apart. That's absolutely 100% opposite. So if you have a hard time figuring out what mudita is, where you have sympathetic joy, where you feel happy for someone in their good fortune, if that seems a little obtuse somehow, like you can't quite wrap your head around it, think of Schadenfreude, where you're really happy about the failure of someone else, and it's the opposite of that. Our practice is to approach, confront, deal with reality. Right here, right now, as it is from moment to moment, reality. Not what I wish would be, not what I am afraid of what might be, what I hope will be, any of that. It's right here, right now, from moment to moment. And if you are feeling joyful or sad, feel them. Feel them fully. Feel them for as long as they actually last. And then let them go. Put them down, because they are impermanent feelings. They are characterized by emptiness, I dare say. Everything changes. Some things more quickly than others. But it's just a fact. It's part of reality. We accept reality, and also, as Zen practitioners, we approach things from the standpoint of how do we save all beings? How do we help? How do we not harm, if nothing else? What is it that's going to contribute to the welfare of all sentient beings? Even if it's like one at a time, what are we going to do to help all sentient beings? Not just half, or slightly less than half, or slightly more than half, or all sentient beings except for me, because I'm part of all also. What do I do to help all sentient beings? We have to approach our day-to-day lives from the standpoint of being Zen practitioners. I'm not saying that we have a lock on being good, wholesome, contributing members of the human society, but we have been exposed to the Dharma, and that should be doing a good job of pointing the way of what it is we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to approach our day-to-day lives with wisdom. We are being handed wisdom every day from each other, from the sutras, from the writings of Zen masters, from just the Sangha at large. We're always learning something. We're always being taught a new way to put our practice into action. And as far as I'm concerned, and there are some pedantic people out there that'll probably take exception to this, but I have always considered Zen to be a verb. And I'm not just talking about the literal translation of Zen as, going back to the Sanskrit dhyana, and, it means meditation, so ergo it's a verb. No, I'm talking about putting our practice into action, not just passively sitting by, not just accepting and, okay, here I am being, exhibiting equanimity. It doesn't have to be like that. There are things that we can do that will help all sentient beings. Seung San would often talk about the primary point, and that's that state of equilibrium in between one extreme and the other, back when the pendulum swings back and forth and it slows down and you get back to the primary point, where you're unperturbed by these things that are impermanent, where you exhibit equanimity, where you realize what parts of reality are characterized by shunyata, emptiness. And that's like 99% of what we encounter on a day-to-day basis, right? Every now and then, if you look hard enough, if you concentrated on it hard enough, you might find that 1% that we actually nail. That's the Great Way itself. But otherwise, all empty, all subject to change, all impermanent. So the question is, in our acceptance and acknowledging reality and not picking and choosing what part of reality we like and what part we don't, what do we do? I would say another one of my let's get the elephant in the room dealt with things. We accept reality because it's reality. I mean, my fretting about it or being overjoyed about it isn't going to change reality. I don't have that power. It's not in my job description that I can somehow change reality. Reality is what it is. I can, however, create causes and conditions that will have an effect on changing reality in a certain way. We accept what it is. We don't have to settle for it. If there are things that we can do, exhibiting generosity and morality and patience and vigor and concentration and wisdom, if we can apply those things, if we can apply compassion, if we can apply sympathetic joy through our use of wisdom, then perhaps we can go about saving/helping all sentient beings, including ourselves, including the entire world, all sentient beings, not just a few. How are we going to do that? Now what? Okay, let's try and keep that thing from falling over and giving you a sudden awakening when it just crashes in the middle of meditation tonight. So, my next little Zen thing that's not a quote, so to speak, is, what is this? Don't know. How do we, here's a good one, for those of us who have Dharma names, how do we manifest them? Time to chant the Heart Sutra. Mahaprajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, when practicing deeply the Prajna Paramita, perceives that all five skandhas are empty and is saved from all suffering and distress. Shariputra, Om does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. That which is form is emptiness. That which is emptiness, form. The same is true of feelings, perceptions, impulses, consciousness. Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They do not appear or disappear, are not tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease. Therefore in emptiness, no form, no feelings, perceptions, impulses, consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no color, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of eyes, and so forth until no realm of mind consciousness, no ignorance, and also no extinction of it, and so forth until no old age and death, and also no extinction of them, no suffering, no origination, no stopping, no path, no cognition, also no attainment, with nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva depends on Prajna Paramita, and the mind is no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist. Far apart from every perverted view, and dwells in nirvana. In the three worlds, all Buddhas depend on Prajna Paramita and attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Therefore know that Prajna Paramita is the great transcendent mantra, is the great right mantra, is the utmost mantra, is the supreme mantra, which is able to relieve all suffering and is true, not false. So proclaim the Prajna Paramita mantra. Proclaim the mantra which says Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Let's dedicate some merit. All sentient beings are one seamless body and pass quickly from birth to death. We remember those who cared for us and are gone, those who are ill, those who are at war, who are hungry, and who are in pain. May they heal and have peace. We especially dedicate our service to Brad Hunter, Mike Gingy Wood, Caleb, John Chan. Would anyone like to add anyone in?
Barry and Juanita.
Any others? All beings throughout the 10 directions, subject to the greed, hatred, and delusions of themselves and others. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all honored ones, Bodhisattva, Mahasattvas, wisdom beyond wisdom, Maha Prajna Paramita. And we'll recite our faith and practice vow. I will never retreat and will be firm in my mind in this correct Dharma. I will escape from the samsaric cycle of birth and death and definitely will see my original face. I will be sure to inherit the life of insight of the Buddha and save all sentient beings. Reverend Hengdal.
The spiritual source shines clearly in the light. The branching streams flow on in the dark. Infinite realms of light and dark convey the Buddha mind. Birds and trees and stars and we ourselves come forth in perfect harmony. We practice and recite this for all beings in grateful thanks to our many guides along the way.
The 4 great Bodhisattva vows. Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to help them all. Delusions are countless. We vow to see through them all. Opportunities to awaken are infinite. We vow to embrace them all. The Buddha way is endless. We vow to embody it. Life and death are of supreme importance. Time passes swiftly by and opportunities to awaken are easily lost. Strive to realize your true nature and do not squander your time by night or day.